Hi, fifth graders. Welcome to day 15 of writing our personal narrative. This day is going to be one of the last things that we do before we write the very final draft that has all of the edits and changes we've made. So we are going to be looking at an editing checklist. So you're going to go to slide 2, click to make your copy. It's spinning. There it goes. You'll see some X's over here for you. Um, in this editing checklist, you are going to edit your piece of writing and your peer is going to edit this piece of writing. So the way that this works is you need to have the work done from day 14 before you move into day 15. So if you are not done with that yet, you need to pause this, go back to 14 and make sure that your story is copied into a document, that you are writing, that you have all of the writing done that you need done, and that you've checked off your own personal checklist on what needs to be included in your personal narrative. Because this is only going to be about the mechanics of our writing. So if you have not done that yet, pause me here, go do that, and then come back to this. For those of you ready to move on here, you are going to get your document and you are going to start editing it. The things that we're looking for are including capitalized title. All the paragraphs are indented. Each sentence begins with a capital letter. Each sentence ends with the appropriate end mark, so exclamation, question, period. All proper nouns are capitalized. So if you went somewhere during your story, remember a proper noun is the official name of a person, place, or thing. That commas are used correctly and as needed. So if you are continuing a couple of sentences together, you have that in there. If you're starting a sentence with however, maybe you have a comma after it, something like that. Apostrophes are used correctly and as needed. So looking for those in contractions. Quotation marks are used correctly and as needed. So again, now you're looking for that dialogue. Did you do that there? That's also where you would use some commas. All words are spelled correctly. If you do not know how to spell something correctly, highlight it, go back to it later. Even if you're like, ooh, I don't know, maybe double check it. It never hurts to just double check your spelling. Okay, and then sentences are clear and complete. Now, you are going to do this for yourself. When you are all done, you are going to switch with a partner who is also all done. We're not going to sit and wait for our best friend to be finished. We are going to find somebody who is all done and you're just going to switch with them. You can sit next to each other and look through, and the peer or you on another person, a peer is a classmate, they're going to go through and look for the same thing. So they're going to put another set of eyes onto your story, and you're going to put another set of eyes onto their story, and you're going to look and make sure that those same things are done. If you're coming across things in here that are not done, let's go over to mine. So you could see I actually didn't indent. So you could do this two ways. You can hit tab. I would say that that's the best way to do it. There's also a way of just kind of doing like 1, 2, 3, depending on how much interest you want. But if you do 1, 2, 3, you have to do that for every single one. So sometimes it's just better to hit your tab and it automatically puts you in. So if I'm going through and doing that. Now, here's something I would say is rather important. If you are going to edit yours or somebody else's, let's say that this actually needs a question mark. I'm going to go in and I might change my font color, and then I'm going to do this. That way, when I go back and I look at these things, I can see what was changed in my story. So if somebody else is working in my story, maybe they think that I need an exclamation point here, then they might choose a different color than I use, but they're going to put it in and change it for me. Let's say that they also think here this word is spelled incorrectly, but they're not sure. This is a highlighting tool. So you are going to highlight, you could select your text, then, select your text, come up here to your highlight tool, pick a color, and now it's highlighted. So if I want to go back and make sure that this is how we spell selecting, I am going to highlight it because I don't need to do that immediately. So I'm going to go through my whole story looking for those things. And then after I do that, I'm going to come back over here and I'm going to say, okay, I looked and read through, all the paragraphs are indented. I'm going to move this X here because I did that. And I'm going to go through and do each of these. Okay. It might make sense to do, one, check for that title. And let me put in a title over here. So you would have a return and say, I'm just making this up because mine is directions for you. So say the day I finished my personal narrative. Okay, so I'm going to highlight. I'm going to go up here and I'm going to choose center. I may also, if I choose to, underline it. It does not need to be underlined, but each of the words needs to be capitalized because that's a capitalized title. All right, so repeating again the directions so that we are clear. You are going through doing this all yourself. Then you are going to see somebody else who is finished with all of the self edits and edit with them. Okay. It could be anybody in the room that is finished. Again, we are not waiting for somebody else to finish because this is our own work. And so we want somebody else to look at this with fresh eyes, and it doesn't really matter who it is as long as they also have finished the self-edit portion and you're doing this piece. All right. If you have any questions, make sure that you reach out and ask while you are working on this. Have fun editing. We're almost done.